again over reasons why it's difficult for women to accept the concept of submission. Many churches or houses of worship lack basic teaching tools to teach biblical principles on the family, either because they don't have the means or afraid they might offend some members of the congregation. And submission doesn't mean being turned into a punching bag or being abused physically. Of course, if that's happening, you should seek help right away. But it doesn't mean it also doesn't mean your husband mandates you to disobey God's law, or denouncing the Creator, or changing your faith, or anything like that, or asking you to lie or do things that you know aren't right. Basically, like I said before, it's not a matter of treating your man as the absolute end-all be-all of your existence. You still have to use your common sense. And at the same time, that man has to prove himself worthy of your submission by being that leader, being that rock, being that man that you can relax with and be a lady with. I think that because of poor choices on our part most of the time, and dealing with and being in relationships with men who aren't worthy of our submission, that a lot of that resistance has to do with being so used to having to do everything on your own. Can incite that, and you forget how to be a lady and just sit down and relax and defer to the man to make the decision, because you're not used to having a real man in your life. I mean, to make those kinds of decisions. Women who are in that category. I'm not saying all sisters out there are like that, but I think it stems from that. Speaking from personal experience as well. The Bible talks about people dying for lack of knowledge. And going back to the article, a godly woman studies the Bible to know how biblical women and godly women who understand this structure navigate it in modern times. Okay, that doesn't make any sense. Sorry, let me go up a little bit. Going back to the article, knowing what God requires from me and determining what to do is one thing. A godly woman seeks how to turn the pages of the scripture into life. Experience is not only spirituality, but experience is, godly woman seeks how to turn the pages of the scripture into life experiences spiritually and in daily living. And learning how to communicate comes in handy. Lecturing or telling your husband what to do will get you nowhere. There was a brother's video I saw earlier that you can get anything you want as long as you do it with finesse. And nagging and yelling and demanding and telling your man what to do is not the way to get what you want. Now, I'm not talking about manipulation or trying to mind screw him. It's just a matter of communicating in the proper and respectful way. And the points that I make about submission is it's not one-sided. It's not about being in a one-sided relationship. I hope I convey. I can't stress that enough. And I'm really hoping and praying that I'm making my point here, as far as elaborating on what submission really means. But it starts from knowing God on a relational basis and determining to be obedient even when we don't understand. I like that. But yeah, it's ordained by the Creator. It's the natural order of things. And I think that's what it means as far as knowing your place. And knowing your place, again, it's another statement that just sounds like, whoa, my place. You automatically think that, again, when you embrace the concept of submission as a woman, you have to refer to your scriptures and what you know of your spirituality and what that teaches you about submission. Not what society tells you it is, but what the Creator tells you it is. And I think that's ultimately what you have to rely on. And not what Gloria Steinem says it is, not what Oprah says it is. And I keep bringing up Oprah. Look, I'm Oprah's biggest fan. She's getting her money. She's doing her thing. And that's a lovely thing. But again, and one of the points that I'm making here is that it's not, when you're in a relationship, when you're in a marriage, it is not all about you. Like the scripture says, you are both one in the Creator's eyes. So, that's pretty much it. So, I may do another follow-up here because I have a lot more I have to say on this. So, I hope that clarified it in some way. And I'll talk to you later.
Nothing's clear. It's so confusing. Intuition's left you. There's no one left to turn to until you hear a voice within your heart telling you which way to go. Don't you know? I've got to learn to please your mind positively. Try and find a way to spend your time with positivity. Spend your days here waiting and all your nights in wishing, and seasons come and go. As you sleep, the tide is rising. One by one, your dreams are drowning. While you stand and watch the waters flow, nothing's clear.